Welcome to Medieval Kingdom Wars, and this is a short video on update 23, which came out on the 11th of August 2017. And this is just going to be an overview of the changes. I'm going to try and keep the video as short as possible. Before I get started, guys, I'd like to thank Justin Stott for his comments, and I do appreciate those comments because those make me think more about the game and where it's going, and I do appreciate that. So a nice shout out to Justin for that. I do really appreciate it, and his comments have given me some thought about what I want to do is clear up a few points during this video as well. Now, what I'm going to do first is before the update came out, there was a release saying about where the game actually wanted to go, and I think that's worth mentioning because there is a roadmap of what is actually in the future, and I think I'll just go through that, guys. And obviously some of the stuff that was in there, if you want to check the roadmap and even the update notes for this release, go to the Steam and it's all on there. You can read it all in detail because I'm not going to cover every single aspect. Now, the real highlights that are attracting me were what's coming up in the future. They're hoping to get the research tree fixed by late August, and that will certainly add a dimension to the campaign. Now, they're also confirming new town levels. Caen is confirmed and Dublin possible. And this answers one of Justin's questions about why do I always show Orleans. Well, the reason is that for some things to do with the campaign map, Orleans is the best example. You can access Paris and the new one of Nantes in the skirmish map, but really at the moment the only kind of level 3 one I've found, I haven't found Nantes, is which I can rely on, is probably the best way of saying it, is by doing the French campaign and going to Orleans. So apologies guys if you keep seeing it, but I do have something a bit more interesting to show you when we do go back to Orleans a bit later in the video. And the other part they're also planning on coming up, and bear in mind these are just the highlights, is expanding the random maps for battles, because at the moment they are a bit mundane, but again this is early access, early going, and that is where it's at the moment. Now for the update itself, I'll just read off what they basically said. And they've said they've fixed over 30 bugs and issues, and most of them are listed in the release notes. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go onto the campaign map, because a lot of the other ones relate to the campaign garrisons, and of course we're going to go and say hello to France. Apologies guys. So here we are, guys, we're on the campaign map. Now, just to answer one of Justin's questions, is the way it works is that don't actually need the overall map, and the way I kind of see the campaign, I mean this is purely my opinion, is that we are a minor lord in the Kingdom of France, and I'm assuming that Paris up here is the capital, because you can see this is the Kingdom of France, but we're a minor lord down here in Orleans. This is our starting position. They are fixed, and that is our economic base that you can see here. And what you actually need to do is bring an army. You can look around here. These are the way to view these. The way I view these are the settlements of independent minor lords. Although they do seem to have a common flag, but there doesn't seem to be any repercussions at the moment. And what you actually can do is come out and
your Kareem Carrick standing ready.
And if you click on these settlements. There, you've got to click on the flag here. This is a tier 3. We'll try and look for something that's a bit easier. There's an army here. Tours. Maybe we can get into tours. What you actually do is you right click and we'll go for an auto resolve, and you choose a target. I mean, there's a good chance we'll lose because the auto victory. So we've now conquered this area. So our empire's grown a little bit. And of course, if I click on tours, you can see here we've got the obligatory 2 serfs and 2 chickens. I've got no idea why this shows up chicks, but you can see here we can upgrade so we can enter the city. Just going to flash in and out, guys, just to show you guys. So we've now got tours, so we've now got 2 settlements. and what we can do is develop the settlements up as we go. So that's the way the campaign grows, and I think my vision of it is that we start off as a minor lord, we build a power base, and hopefully we can then kind of advance forward to become a maybe the ruler of the kingdom, and then we can fight other factions. So it's very much about expanding by conquering these buildings. And you can see this is a tier 2 city, so what we would do is have to set our serfs to work, and then we can build up our palisades here. I'm not going to do it, guys, because you know, that's not really part of the purpose of this video, but that is just an example of how you would expand. I mean, obviously you would fight the battles. I did an auto resolve. Now what I will say, guys, is if you've got a tier 3 army like I've got and you go up against a tier 3 settlement, the auto resolve will probably go against you. And you can see our army now is camped in here.
Your careened Carrick standing ready.
The guy with the Scottish accent. So like if I attacked Morantin with a tier 3 army, there's a good chance I would lose on the auto resolve. But that's how you expand, and I'm assuming eventually you could even come out and conquer Paris. That would be quite an epic battle, laying siege to Paris. But until diplomacy is delivered and some of the other in-game campaign mechanics, what I'm talking about is pure speculation, guys, that you do it. But that's how you expand. And the way to look at these are your economic and military bases, because you can see here you can recruit an army here, another army. It's like a kind of de facto army here, so we could get another level 2 army. I think the level of army you can actually recruit depends on the size of the city. So if we come here and we recruit an army, yeah, we can go up to a tier 5 here. So the bigger the city you've got, so obviously if you started with a kingdom that only had a very small start, a good example of that is Scotland up here. In fact, actually, if I come to Ireland, so I don't have to go up too far, guys. If you start in Ireland, you start with Tarm and Limerick, 2 small settlements. I think it's 2 you start with. Oh, we're actually defend. We'll auto resolve that. I mean, it's a good chance we might actually lose. But our army has triumphed, so we've been attacked. Victor. Oh, our army, we defended here against the opposition forces. Okay, right. So that's it. I mean, I am using auto resolves because I don't want to fight the battles. Battles in this game could be quite long. Anyway, guys, right on to the changes. Now, the changes are basically they've changed the graphical interface for the town down to here. You can see I've fully developed Orleans now, and I've got a hospital and archery range, iron camp all built in here. And on this side, the size of the garrison now has been expanded to 30. And you can see here I've got some livestock in here. We've got 2 cows, 2 pigs, 4 pigs, 3 chickens. In fact, we've got 4 cows, 4 pigs and 3 chickens. I've got a feeling that might be an error, but what you can do, guys, is flip through like that, so you don't have to come out if you want to manage the cities. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to enter the city, because this is what I want to do now, is kind of show you guys what the city looks like on the inside. So that's probably one of the major changes, is the fact the garrison is been expanded to 30. But I suppose the biggest change with this update is the fact that once we get in, still get this message. It says the units aren't remembered. What you actually see, they're all congregated around here, but I've actually units I've actually recruited. I'm just going to move them
eagerly now, lads. Longbows, get it done.
So I've now got my standard army, which basically it's made up of 4 longbowmen and 4. Well, I think it's 3 hospitallers and and 3 Templar Knights. That's my garrison, and more importantly, it's remembered my carts while gathering goods, because carts are quite useful in here, and of course I can send these
Lord,
guys to
what do you
work.
need?
Gather
Get
those
chopping on
resources
those
up.
trees.
So that's another major change. And the other thing I want to show you guys is what I thought I'd do is, I know Justin said about the fact that he's fed up looking at Orleans. What I've actually done is I've upgraded all the city, and I've built some marketplace over here. But at the moment, it doesn't. The economy doesn't seem to be implemented. So if you, so there's an issue there. And the other thing I'll show you guys is buried in here is the academy. But if you click on research, again, it's not implemented, but they are planning on implementing that in the late August. We'll soon be seeing that. And you can see here that the whole city is fully upgraded now, but at the moment research doesn't seem to be enabled here. So it says requires stonework, but I can't seem to be able to upgrade it for that at the moment. And you can see here now, I'll draw your attention down here, guys. It says my garrison is 15 out of 30 because the horse carts and all that count. And what I've actually done is I've built my archery range up here, so we could train a couple more archers here. And what I've built is my hospitallers here, because these are the guys who could be in the front line. They could be there. And of course, I've filled all the slots, and I think this comes down to the decisions you've got to make to build up your cities. The fact that you're going to have to balance between garrisons and research and armorers to upgrade. And if I can click on here, guys,
Templars stand
they've also
ready.
added, these guys can actually heal. Partially heals unit over 5 seconds at the cost of stamina. And the other thing they've added to here is we've now got hold fire flaming arrows, but you can see there it requires archery range flaming arrows. Enfilade requires archery range enfilade. This card will plant spikes in the ground and increasing there. And that kind of leads me into the next part, and it says of this update, which it says major balancing issues. And it says total, I'll just read this out, guys. Total rebalance of all units in a new tier system. Higher cost more but are more effective. Higher tier units can cost up to 4 times more but can face several lower tier units. And that was probably one of my gripes in battles. I had some hospitallers fighting archers, and the archers were killing them. You would have thought that the heavier tanky type
We await thy
hospitallers
orders.
here, if you kind of look at their stats, should be able to beat archers in melee. Yes, archers should be able to take them down in range, but once they get into battle, I mean, hospitallers should be able to shoot their way from archers. I will do a battle to test that. And the next one, it says rebalance of projectile and tower-based siege weapons, more powerful and accurate and expensive. So basically, again, it was one of my issues with siege weapons, is they seemed to fire a lot, use a lot of stone, but they didn't seem to hit very much. And that's also replicated with the mounted weapons, are more resistant to arrows. And again, that was another one of my minor gripes, in the fact that you'd have a, I don't think it will let me build it here, no, but you can build siege weapons in certain key points on your defences, normally in here. I don't think it's actually implemented. You can see it in the skirmish battles, and you'd get a troop of archers stand there, they would kill the siege weapon, and the siege weapon would be firing at them, and they'd be firing back, and they would kill the siege weapon before the siege weapon actually killed them, which was always felt a bit strange to me. And then we got battle AI is a lot easier and slower on easy difficulty. I think that's probably, may seem a little bit of a cheat to some guys, but I think when you're first learning to fight, when you get into a battle, the AI comes at you very, very quickly while you're kind of thinking, and I think when you're actually learning to fight battles, I think that's quite useful there. And it says trees, especially small trees, hold more wood. Towers and palisades are now more resistant to artillery fire. which is good, guys. So they're obviously working hard on rebalancing the units and getting things going. I think that's really cool. I'm just going to give you guys another look around the city, and bear in mind this is from a defensive wars point of view. I've maxed this up. It took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours of being in the city, building that up. And bear in mind that I haven't upgraded the gatehouses, I haven't built any siege weapons yet. I've just quite literally done that. And I think this looks quite cool, actually, guys. What I will say is that the walls around the back here are solid. So although you've got lots of trees down here, your peasants don't seem to be able to get through these gates. You can't seem to open these gatehouses, they're completely closed. What you've actually got to do, once you've kind of consumed all the wood in this area, I mean, you can set these guys
Let me wash my hands first.
to collecting wood, and they will collect wood in this area. But the reason I got these carts is that what you can do is bring the carts out here, and then bring your serfs up to chop the wood in this area. And if you don't have carts, what they will do is effectively walk all the way back into the city. So if you're really building the city up and want to build resources, what you want to do is build a storehouse, build some carts, get the carts up here, get your serfs up here chopping wood. So what you do is bring this serf up here, set them to chopping wood, and then they'd come up here. It takes them a little while to get up here, but it's certainly well worth it if you're building your city up. You can see here my resources are just trucking through left, right and centre, and I think we're just going to go back onto the campaign map. I think I've covered virtually everything in this update now. I am still very interested in this game, guys, and I do reiterate, it's still early games. It's got a lot of potential, and I do like the potential for fighting and a little bit of role play. I mean, I'd love to be able to ascend to become the King of France and then go and beat the dastardly British or English across the channel. But I should be saying that, seeing I come from the UK, but it's just a bit of fun, guys. And you can see here we've now got our tours here. And one thing I will say, guys, actually I should have done that, I should have just flipped through. Training units, you can see here we got this is camp. These are the new siege weapons: horse carts, boiling oil carts, battering ram, escalade, belfry. I'm not sure why you'd want those in a city unless you can take them with you in an army. You can actually recruit sheep as well. We've got cavalry. You can see how expensive this stuff is. Ballista, trebuchet, madlet. So at the moment you can't really recruit this stuff because your only income at the moment is your taxes, and if you wanted to play the campaign at the moment, what you would actually do is collect the taxes, and then if I recruit an army, if I recruited I cannot afford it. Okay, what can I recruit? I can recruit a tier 4 army. We've now got 2 armies. It doesn't auto resolve. Here comes Pontiers. Victory! We are triumph. So Pontiers certainly doesn't like us, and they're tier 3. And just for the fun of this, guys, because I mean this is my demo one.
Your careened carrick
And
standing
what we
ready.
could do, you're tier 3. Okay, let's see if this will work.
Trim tight to the midships, my laird.
Let's see if we
Your careened carrick standing ready. Any damned fool can navigate the
I
world
don't know
sober.
if these guys can
Just try to
reinforce.
do it drunk, my laird. Trim tight to the midships, my laird.
Just gonna.
Any damned fool can navigate the world sober. Just try to do it drunk, my laird. Trim
this is-
tight to the
I've
midships, my laird.
Never done this, guys. So, and again, I'm just gonna auto resolve it. Resolving battle options. Victory! We have taken Pontier,
Victory. Nothing
and
can
we've
seem
now
bound
got
to those
a
that win.
tier 3 city. So if we enter this now, look, bearing in mind what that looks like, and this, what's it going to look? Welcome to City View. Wait, what are we going to get, guys? And again, this is the limitation of the map, guys. We've invaded Pontier, but what we've actually got is the Dover map. But I'm sure that will change over time, guys. So at the moment, we've got kind of maps which represent levels of cities. So Dover is a tier 3, Orleans is a tier 4. So we've now captured Pontiers, which is cool. I mean, I can live with this, guys. Our empire is growing. I think what I might do is actually expand this and grow this up and just keep this going for the as long as I can actually use these cities as part of demonstrating the updates, guys. I'll be quite happy. So we've captured Pontier. But basically that's how you fight the campaign. Obviously, for the pleasure
Your
of it,
careened Carrick standing
you
ready.
would fight. Why would I want to? Obviously there's a bit of a glitch there, guys. I don't want to attack my own settlements, and of course what we could do is expand to there. But anyway, guys, I'm rambling. I think I've covered the update, and I hopefully that is demonstrated how your campaign, and you can see here the fog of war's moving away, and we've got all over here, which is a tier 5. So that would be a real challenge over here. But you can see our small little empire is growing. But this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. I'm just going to flip back to the main menu just to round this video off. I don't think, short of fighting a battle, I can't really demonstrate what's changes to the skirmish one. One thing I will say is that they are looking forward to multiplayer battles. They've said that in the roadmap video, or not video. They've said it in the roadmap update that the online community is growing. It's very small compared to the large one, but they're hoping that eventually, over time, that you will be able to do some online skirmish battles against other players. So that could be something worth looking forward to. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this short update video on Medieval Kingdoms Wars. I'm looking forward to more content. As and when it comes out, I will be making these videos. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.